Hello peeps. So I woke up this morning, as you can see, not long ago, and we've got this picture of Positano on our wall that we basically look at from as soon as I wake up, which is cool. And I got this beautiful fit. Now I've never actually been to Positano, but I feel like I've been there because I've looked at it so much, and we've got this, this idea, oh, we're definitely going to Positano. And it just reminded me that, it felt like I was there. Now, my sensible mind told me, no, you're not really there. You're looking at a photo, right? And two things came to mind, but let me tell you what I used to say in my groups. Now, these were adult groups, so forgive me in advance. Probably best to turn off right now. What I used to say was, these are like guys in their late teens, 20s, right? I used to say, if you could have an, let's say, amorous dream every night, but you couldn't have, the practical version for a year, would you take it? And every single one said no. Every single one. I was actually surprised at that. But here's the two parts to that. First of all, I asked why, and for obvious reasons. They said, because it's not real. I said, but it feels real in every single way while you're dreaming, right? You're experiencing exactly, if not probably better than the real thing. But they refused. Now, I was determining that in terms of maybe taking drugs or alcohol or something like that, because we want to get out of our world, and yet we wouldn't take that opportunity to live in a virtual world because we know it's not true. So why do you want to get out of a world when you wouldn't choose a better world virtually, right? That sort of, it doesn't make sense, But here's the other part to it. So there's two parts to it. The first one is you can literally experience pretty much any emotion, any situation, or the emotion that would be connected with that situation in your mind, in your body. Because you can create the chemicals, you can create the feelings, you can create the emotions. Now, almost everybody will say, oh, if it was only that simple, right? Well, it is. The downside is we actually put the stop on that because we know, or we think we know, the difference between reality and virtual reality or a made-up reality. So why, oh why, do we then choose to live most of our lives in a virtual world? Now, what do I mean by that? We've heard it over and over and over and over and over and over again. Live in the moment, right? And yet, 98% of our lives, I'm just going by myself, and I think that I'm very in the moment, though I do say so myself. No, I think, I teach this stuff, so I'm as much in the moment as I think I can be, right? Now, we're always in the moment. There is no other time in life. However, what happens is, what we're seeing is not necessarily reality. What we're seeing is what's going on in our minds. So as much as we think we wouldn't like to live in a virtual world, most of our lives are in a virtual world because we're not seeing with our eyes, we're seeing with our mind. I know that sounds crazy, but if you imagine out here, right, in front, That's reality. But we don't see reality. We project reality with our eyes through our beliefs, our values, our whatever is going on in our worlds, our circumstances, or rather our experiences, I should say, not our circumstances. And we project that out, and then we take it back in and filter it all over again. By the time we've figured out what's going on, this thing has been messed and mashed and all sorts of stuff. So we're not seeing reality, we're seeing our virtual world. So, what do you make of that? Let me know. Let me know what you think. Am I full of doo-doo? Am I full of it? Do you agree or disagree? Do you agree with some and not others? Would you take on that? Would you take that challenge and go for a year, amorous dreams? A little suggestion, just a suggestion. First of all, take a breath. If ever you want to stay in the moment, just take a breath. You might even want to put it on your phone or something. Every so often, take a breath. That little breath will give you an opportunity to just be where you are. And the second one is maybe first thing in the morning, last thing at night. Just think about a place, a situation, whatever it is. Don't make it too with possible triggers. Just keep it as something simple. Like, I'm here, the beautiful sun's coming up, so to watch the sunrise is phenomenal, and that in itself is a really good feeling. So something like that. Maybe if you're building a business, imagine what it would be like to be fairly successful. And the reason I say fairly is because when you try and think of how to be super successful, it takes you the other way, and then you start thinking of what's going on and why you're not successful and so on. But if you think of fairly successful, so getting to that next level or so on, and just feel those feelings, perhaps. You start doing that morning and night, that by itself will, worst case scenario, give you good feelings. But best case scenario will give your GPS, your inner GPS, a guidance as to where you want to go next. Think about it. Let me know how it goes. Hey, Raymond. Raymond is very close to me right now. I think you're above me, right? and you're probably saying more ways than one, right? All right, take care.